Have you ever pondered the depth of your actions? Considered if they align with the sacred teachings of the Bible? This question, my friends, has been a source of introspection and anxiety for many, as they fear transgressing the divine laws etched within the holy pages of the Bible. It's a common fear, a fear that can sometimes morph into feelings of guilt, shame, or even self-doubt. The wisdom of distinguished religious scholars like Bishop N.T. Wright and Dr. James Dobson can shed light on this subject. They've delved into the complexities of biblical prohibitions and the fear of sinning, guiding us to understand and navigate these fears. Their teachings remind us that it's not about living in fear of transgression, but about striving for a life of righteousness. However, understanding these prohibitions can lead us to a path of righteousness and peace. It's not a journey of fear, but rather a journey of faith. The Bible, an ancient text, holds a wealth of wisdom and guidance for our actions. It's a fascinating labyrinth of rules, regulations, and prohibitions, all aimed at guiding human behavior toward a more virtuous path. Let's dive into some of these prohibitions. In the Book of Leviticus, for instance, we find a caution against eating certain types of food, such as pork and shellfish. This directive, scholars like Dr. John Walton argue, was likely rooted in the health risks associated with these foods in a time before modern food safety practices. Similarly, in Deuteronomy, there are prohibitions against certain types of clothing and adornment. Dr. Tremper Longman III suggests that these rules were more than just arbitrary restrictions. They reflected the cultural norms and societal structures of the time. For instance, wearing clothes of mixed fabrics might have been seen as disrespecting the natural order, while extravagant adornments could be viewed as a sign of vanity or excessive pride. But it isn't just about what we eat or wear. The Bible also guides our interpersonal relationships, calling for respect, honesty, and love. In the Ten Commandments, we find prohibitions against stealing, lying, and committing adultery. These are timeless principles that continue to guide our moral compass today. However, it's important to remember that these prohibitions were made in a specific historical and cultural context. They were designed to guide the people of that era, facing their unique challenges and circumstances. Today, while the specifics may not always apply, the underlying principles often do. For instance, while we now understand that pork and shellfish can be safely consumed with modern cooking techniques, the principle of mindful eating and caring for our bodies remains relevant. Similarly, while we may no longer see mixed fabrics as a moral issue, the idea of living modestly and not flaunting wealth is still a valuable lesson. Understanding these prohibitions in their historical and cultural context can help us navigate our actions in today's world. So let's continue to explore the wisdom of the Bible, not just as a historical document, but as a guide for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. How can we then apply this ancient wisdom to our modern lives? The answer lies in the principles behind these biblical prohibitions. They are not merely a list of do's and don'ts, but are rooted in the timeless virtues of respect for others, honesty, and integrity. These principles are universal, transcending time and culture, and they can guide our actions today. Consider the words of modern religious thinkers like Timothy Keller, who said, "The Bible's teaching leads us to a life of love, not of legalism." And Rick Warren, who reminds us, "We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it." These principles aren't about being perfect, but about striving to live a life that aligns with our deepest beliefs and values. They serve as our moral compass, guiding us in the decisions we make every day. By understanding and applying these principles, we can lead a life that aligns with our beliefs and values. In this journey of understanding, we've delved into the depths of biblical prohibitions. We've explored the fear of transgression, the nature of these prohibitions, and the significance of applying ancient wisdom to modern life. We've seen that the Bible is not a catalogue of do-nots, but a guide to living a life of purpose and meaning. It encourages us to question, to ponder, and to seek understanding. It teaches us that the context of these prohibitions is as important as the prohibitions themselves. In our modern world, with all its complexities and challenges, these ancient principles can still guide us. They can help us navigate through life with a sense of direction and purpose. They can help us grow as individuals and as a community. Remember, understanding is the first step towards growth. Continue this journey of understanding by subscribing and liking our content. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey.